What up guys, Prime here. Yes, this is my raid build. This is the build that I mainly use to beat the Operation Iron Horse. Are you ready? Let's go! What up guys, welcome to another Division 2 video. Thanks for clicking my content, I really appreciate you watching it. And today, yes, finally after a few requests, I'm dropping my raid build. And this is a build that I'm mainly using because I'm used to DPS. So this is a build that most of the teammates will use. Of course you have your tanks and your healers, but with the nerf coming up, I need a better build for my healer and or for my bulwark build, of course, because we're using that as a tank. But this build, guys, is so much fun to play with. You hit very hard, and of course, just like you saw, I'm using Unbreakable just to get that survivability a little bit up, and man, still shredding through enemies. This is very fun to play with, and in our opinion, these are the builds that you need to rock with. Of course, if you are a little bit more familiar with the raid, but not many of you are, of course, then you can change that Unbreakable for Obliterate, for example. But man, this build, yes, you're gonna need this build. And just like you all requested, let's head over to the build, because I think you saw a lot of gameplay the last few days that I dropped, the boss fights, and of course in the background right now. But let's see the build, guys. So for the specialization, guys, you can choose whatever you like. I'm using the gunner specialization for the 10% armor on kill, and of course for the foam grenade, because that's very handy on boss 3. You can trap him and then just send him back into his door. Over to the weapons, I'm using a FAMAS and an M1A. This is mostly for the last boss. For the second boss, I only switch over to the Sweet Dreams for that Sandman. It's very clutch if you have to reload, or a purple or a red is nearby. You can just bash him, it's instant death. And of course the Bullet King, I'm using that for the third boss to spam him at the end so he doesn't heal anymore. So let's head over to my setup. FAMAS, 99.2k weapon damage, 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage, and 6% damage to armor, and strained on there. I went for once critical hit chance and 2 critical hit damage because I'm using the mask. And 2 others in my team are using the Coyotes Mask as well, so we will always have a 35% critical hit chance and 35% critical hit damage extra. So you can already lose your crit chance and up your crit damage. Over to my classic M1A, 15% rifle damage, hitting for 481.6k. Critical hit damage of 14% and 8% damage to out of cover, and rifleman on there. And same for the classic M1A, I went for, of course, the extra 5 rounds, and the rest is critical hit chance or even critical hit damage if your build holds it up. Over to my mask, just like I said, Coyote, 15% weapon damage, 4.8% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and a mod of 11.3% critical hit damage on there. Then 2 pieces of Providence. For my vest I chose for Unbreakable, just to get that extra life, because still the ads will flank you and those shotgunners still hit very hard. 12.1% weapon damage, 4.8% critical hit chance, 10.4% critical hit damage, and a mod of 11.4 critical hit damage. And just like I said, Unbreakable rolled on there. Over to my backpack, I went for Vigilance, but you can choose whatever offensive talent you like. I'm liking Vigilant, especially when you need to DPS the boss. You will not get hit because you will have a kiter, so you can put out the most damage with Vigilance. 12.3% weapon damage, 10.8% critical hit damage, 5% critical hit chance, and 11.4% critical hit damage as my mod. And of course, the Providence will give me 15% headshot damage and that 10% critical hit chance. I went for the Coyotes Mask. Normally this will hold my Providence Mask, so I will get an extra 15% critical hit damage, but because 3 of us are using it, we're getting 35%, so it's a lot more than that 15. Over to my holster, GOOO Y holster, 15% critical hit damage, of course. I rolled 15% weapon damage, 5% critical hit chance, and 10.7% critical hit damage. Then over to the best in slot pieces, guys. Yes, they still are the best in slot pieces. This will hit very hard. Go for the named Petrov gloves. I got them god rolled. And then of course go for the named Overlord knee pads, the Fox sprayers. You can buy a good one right now. Right now, this vendor reset, 14.1% weapon damage, guys. Pick it up if you're still looking for it, because this is the best weapon damage output. But yeah, guys, this is my build. Of course, I went for the Revive Hive just to keep myself up, because yeah, the ads hit hard and it's not always that your teammates can pick you up or are in a fight as well. And then I went for the repair drone. You can use this or you can use the cam launcher, whatever you're comfortable with. But I went for some healing mechanics so I can stay alive a little bit longer. But let's head over to the stats, guys. Of course, the weapon damage I already explained, and I got a 44.6% critical hit chance on there. That could be a little bit higher. I'm looking for a little bit higher on headshot damage and lowering that crit chance, of course, because we are rocking that 3 masks. 172 critical hit damage, 70.4% headshot damage, 14% armor damage, and 21% health damage. Over to the offensive, 94.4% all weapon damage bonus combined, of course, because we are using the FAMAS at most, with 30% assault rifle damage bonus. So combined is 124.4% all weapon damage bonus. Of course, if we switch over to our M1A, we're losing 5%, so 119.4% weapon damage bonus. With that critical hit chance and damage, you're gonna hit very, very hard. Of course, with that unbreakable on there, you have an extra life. But yeah, guys, this is the build that we are using for the ad. So the ad, guys, like 4 or 5, a boss needs to run this build. Or in our opinion, of course. But yeah, that's it for today. I would love to show you all my other builds, but they're nerfing a few other builds. The Bulwark is getting a big nerf. So we're switching over to some other builds to tank. I need to find out what the best build is and I can show you again. But for today, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribers button. And of course the notification bell. PurePrime out!